Well, good evening, everybody. Good evening to Slim. Good evening to Bill. Good evening to Simon or Simanx. Good evening to Semi, even though we all hate him. We're back for another match in the VP4 2022 Black Ball World Championship first round match. Another match has been scheduled, by the way. We'll look at that in a sec. The match tonight, you can see on screen, is supposed to be between Mal and Brain Fill Out, both from England. Mal hasn't shown yet. He's going to do his warming up in the game. We have this match tonight. This is the only one tonight. If I can get this thing to work. Hang on, there we go. We have the other match tomorrow between Snake Eyes and Hazard, and that is at 5 PM tomorrow afternoon. I'll be there for that. And then the match that's been scheduled, this might be quite interesting to watch, this one between DJ Simon and Tommy. And that is on Wednesday night, and that's again on my day off, so not a problem with that. That'll be 7:30 on Wednesday night, British summertime, remember, so take 5 hours off that for Eastern Standard Time, 2:30, and whatever it is, 3 hours before that is 11:30, I think, for Pacific Time. Right, Steve said he wants to be in for this match, so he'll be rumbling about in the background somewhere, I would assume. But there won't be much we can do until Mal shows up. Now, I've got an interesting point to make, whether it might make any difference or not. The way Mal plays, he likes to play quick as he does in 9-ball. I don't think that's maybe such a good way to be playing black ball, but we'll see how he does it. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know whether, you can't necessarily get into a great rhythm in black ball because you have to do a bit of thinking sometimes. Whereas for Mal in 9-ball, it's pretty much, join the dots and run out. Black ball is an entirely different concept, especially the fact that it's a table that he's maybe a wee bit more alien to compared to the fact that he's 98% always on the 9-ball table. So that remains to be seen. We'll see what he does and how he plays. Right, let's see. Yeah, that's fine, but this is VP4. Good evening to Tommy. Still no sign of Mal. No sign at all. Well, I just I fear for Brain Fill Out. I don't know whether he's going to use his head or whether he's going to just try and pot every ball he sees. If he does that, he's dead and buried. I don't know how Brain Fill Out, whether he's ever played black ball again, I haven't a clue, so we'll judge that again once we get a quick look at him. When are you going to accept you live in Northern England? I don't talk rubbish. North England. Now, here's something we need to get right. Are we gonna call black ball racks, or are we gonna call them frames? We have to agree on that. It's a game of pool, so I would still call it a rack. I wouldn't call it a frame. The only frames I see are in snooker. What about John Higgins, by the way? Right, last night, once the stream had finished, I put the snooker on. I settled down, and John Higgins was 9-4 up, and then Neil Robertson got in, won a couple of frames, and I had to go to bed. And I thought, well, John's bound to fall over the line. He can't be that unlucky again. And I get up this morning. They've got nothing in the BBC text about it, so I didn't check my phone until I got to work. And there it is. John Higgins lost the final frame decider. He must be tortured with that carry on. I think he's been, in 5 finals? Has he won one of them? I think he won one. But he's lost the others, and he's been in front, I think, in most of them. He must be in torture this morning when he got up. But well played to Neil Robertson. He'll be hoping he can take that form into the World Championships. But then again, the way the pattern's going, it might be a sign for John Higgins that he's had all this effort that he's put in, and he hasn't what do you call it? He hasn't come out on top in most of them, but he might come out on top in the World Championships. You don't know. Now, I'm not going to come to the defence of John Higgins again. I don't need to. He said what he said to get out of that room, and I believe him as far as that goes. I don't ever believe a player of his quality would ever think in throwing frames of snooker. Why would he need to do that? He's got a good living. Well, you're on Discord, are you? I'm on Discord as well. Right, well, it's getting a bit sort of last minute here, by the way. And I think Steve's forgotten that the match is due to start in about 2 minutes' time. Still no sign of him. Let's check my little clock's working before I forget again. Yeah, it's working. I just need to remember to start the damn thing. Still waiting with bated breath to see if Mal shows up. Who, me? I am in Discord. I'm just not in the channel. Mal has showed up. Right, so we'll get in the channel. Mal has showed up.
Hey, finally.
I can hear what's going on in the background there, Semi. I can hear your speakers.
Strange, I've got nothing going on.
I heard me saying Mal has come into the lobby.
I turned that off. I had it on YouTube.
Yeah, so you are.
Right, Steve's finally showing up. Right, so welcome to Steve. We are about 30 seconds away from this room going up.
Oh, I see. At least Steve gets a welcome.
Yes. Well, you gate crashed. I never invited you in. You just gate crashed.
Yeah, me all over.
Good evening to Cobra. He wasn't guilty of match fixing. Don't start that. See, you English people. It was a set up by the News of the World. And of course he ditched his manager straight after it as well, didn't he? Right, anyway, I was talking about Mal's rhythm, Steve, and I don't know whether you think this is going to make any difference. I'm trying to clutch at straws to find a way for Brainfell out having a chance in this match. Mal likes to be quick when he's playing 9-ball, but 9-ball's fairly straightforward. You know where you're going most of the time. Yep. There's a difference. There's a difference in black ball with a different table, different physics, and I don't know whether if he tries to play at the same pace in this game, I don't know whether that will work out for him as well. But I have to be proved wrong in that.
I think he'll play pretty fast. I mean, the thing is if you've played a game a lot, then you pretty much know what to do without having to think. There may be times you have to think a little, especially like after the break. But I think in general, if you're, used to the pattern play, it's going to go pretty fast. I'm expecting him to play pretty fast.
Well, we're waiting on Brainfill out arriving.
Well, I know Mal quite well, and Mal will most likely be quite aggressive when he plays, so he'll probably go for most clearances. I don't think he'll get all of them. And I think that's where Brainfill out needs to capitalise.
Well, believe it or not, Brainfill out won the lag.
But as for Mal, he's played Black Boy in real life, and he's also played me at this as well. So I know what he's capable of.
Yeah, well, I consider Mal to be one of the favorites in this thing.
Wait, shut up.
Right, so a ball in the break, open table.
Don't want to hear Mal being the favourite.
I said one of the favorites. I didn't say the favorite. Although we'll see how he plays here. I mean, I've seen you play, and obviously you know the strategy well. You certainly know how to use that free shot better than I do because I have not played a lot of blackball. But I mean, as far as ball pocketing, I think let's do a comparison. This will be fun. I would say that Semi pockets balls a little better than Mal, but it's a small amount. I would say that Mal moves the cue ball a little better than Semi, but again, that's a small amount. I would say pattern play, probably pretty even. I would say mentally, probably pretty even. I've seen both these guys struggle to win matches that shouldn't be difficult matches for them. So I think overall it's pretty even. Now that said, I haven't seen Mal play blackball before.
But then you've just said that Mal's better than me in certain areas, so therefore Mal's the hot favourite, not me.
No, I think overall it's pretty even. But I mean, I think the one overriding thing is that that probably makes Semi the favorite is that I don't think Mal plays great snooker, and I know Semi does, and with these curved pockets, that might be a big advantage because these pockets play a lot more like a snooker table than a pool table.
I mean, in my defense, I've played world pub rules for 25 odd years, so kind of comes natural to me. And same as Matt, he's played it for 10 plus years as well.
Yeah.
So we've both got similar backgrounds. He's played on tour. I played on tour. So he's got good knowledge of how to play this game quite well. He just chooses to play 9-ball.
You guys ever play Steve Daking?
Who, Mal?
Either one of you?
No. No, but we've played. Well, I personally have played most of the England pros, and good friends of mine are good. Our practice partners who played for England. So I know and played against all the big boys. Mal's played also against some of the big boys as well, but he comes from a black ball background, whereas I come from a 8-ball pub background.
Well, Brainfill out's just gone favourite to win this first rack if you can get the control of this little draw here. And that's a good shot. That's the little stun draw that everybody has to practice because that's pretty nigh perfect on the yellow.
Yeah, I don't know.
A little bit straight.
Most of those situations, I think you're better off going forward than drawing the ball.
I see, there he's underhit it.
Yeah, this is still fine. I mean, you shouldn't miss this shot on a pool table or on this table.
Well, the miss came from Mal. He tried to pot that red up in the top left and caught his own red, and well done to Brain fell out. I'm a lot more impressed having just seen that.
Well, I think the Reds look better, but he doesn't have a great shot on the Reds. It looks like he's going to go for the one in the center of the table. Well, if you can do that, then I guess it doesn't matter. If you can pop balls like that, then you're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, I'll be looking for a quick response here, I think.
I just want to comment on Cobra's comment. I have seen Mal play. I talk to him quite regularly on Discord. So, based on my own personal judgment and the chats that I have with him and who he's played against, so.
Oh dear.
Well, overcooked that one. Well, but he had to get to this ball eventually, so now he's just going to get to it a little sooner. Oh, that was not a good shot, though.
Okay. And
something tells me he's not been putting any practice in this.
No, no, he hasn't. Simanx, I used to use King.
I think everybody used that shot made in Chicago. Or no, wait a minute. What's the other one made in Chicago? Is the King not the red paper around it? That's a more harder chalk.
Yeah, I used to have that as well. But when I sold my Q, I gave a bunch of chalk away, and I think I know which one you're on about. I tell you what, Brain fell out. He's playing very well.
I've completely changed my opinion straight away because Mal's making mistakes, and Brain fell out. Looks as if he's going to capitalise 2 out of 2 here.
Well, it's still early. I mean, Mal may just take a little while to get going. It's just going to make the match better if Brain fell out gets ahead. But obviously he's is somewhat versed in this game, and maybe this will be a better match than we thought.
Mm-hmm. It's looking like it. Welcome to Popman.
Well, I suppose I can probably reply to Mal's comment when I potted a white on my first frame, where he said that my head's gone, and I believe Mal's head might have gone now already.
Somebody's wondering how you're going to praise Mal. Well, I've seen Mal play a lot. I mean, I did mention that, I haven't seen him really play blackball, so the strategy part I'm not sure about. But, as far as playing ball patterns, pool tends to be pool. I mean, I will say that, yeah, blackball is obviously different than 9-ball. It's more like straight pool patterns, but you either play pool the right way or you don't. And other than the subtleties of the particular game, anybody, for example, that's a really good straight pool player could come in and play this game and be very formidable. They might have to learn a little bit of the finer points of the strategy, but they're going to run out like crazy.
I'm hoping Mal's not going to go for a clearance here.
And Mal may be in that mode. I mean, I've seen good players that get in that mode where that's what they do. They just go for clearance every time, and it's not really a good strategy.
Well, these balls all have a hole to go into.
Yeah, it could be 3-0 there. I mean, not only do they have a hole to go into, but
I mean, the other thing is the two in the centre of the table are handy for the 8-ball, and it's got 3 pockets to go into at the moment.
The only problem at all I see with this is the ball's extended from the side pocket. Those can cause you problems.
He's a bit short.
He'd be better off getting to those balls in the middle of the table earlier rather than leaving them to last. He's going to run into a yellow here. And the problem with doing that, in 8-ball, you get away with that a lot because there's many balls to shoot at. But, when you start doing that, it's, he didn't really control that well. So he wasn't really sure where the cue ball was going. He was fortunate he came up with a shot.
I think he's just bringing his tip down a little bit. Yeah, he should have used his W key there.
Yeah, well, this is table's open. This gives Mal a chance to get in a little rhythm here. Yeah, the thing about people that play fast, I've seen this a lot in real life, and people all say, "Oh, well, he wouldn't have missed that ball if he took more time or something." But it's an advantage rhythm-wise to play faster, and it can be an advantage mentally. And I know for myself personally, when I'm struggling, what I try to do is speed up, which seems counterintuitive, but people that play fast, don't have a lot of stray bad thoughts going through their head, and they tend to play in a good rhythm. And that's a huge advantage. Now, given you're going to miss a ball once in a while, that the guy that takes a lot of time is not going to miss. But, if you compare it to this guy just ran out 6 racks in a row and then missed an easy one versus the guy that's thinking, ran a couple and that was it, and ran a couple, that was it. And he never missed an easy ball, but he didn't run, 6 racks either. So you kind of got to look at both sides of it. Playing fast is not a bad style. And if you look at guys, look at guys like Jason Shaw. He plays fast and he's a tremendous player. So I'm not of the same thought as you, Hugh, about the fast play being really detrimental. I think it's really bad for somebody to go fast that doesn't normally do it. Yeah, Mal seems to be doing exactly what Semi said. He's just getting up and going for everything.
Well, obviously, Brain Pullout can see this yellow in pocket. Is he going to try and nudge into the 8-ball? Let's have a look. Yeah.
I don't know if he's trying to. He didn't come close to it.
Yeah. And he's not got a shot, I don't think.
I will say one other thing about play speed. The difference between Jason Shaw when he was a champion and a really good player, and then Jason Shaw when he became a top player, is he slowed down slightly. I saw him play when he first came to the U.S. and tremendous player. I immediately thought, this guy's the best player in Europe, and this was quite a long time ago. But he slowed down just a teeny bit. He still plays very fast, but he slowed down just a teeny bit. And that's one of the things that turned him into from one of the better players to one of the best players. It was just toning it down just a touch. But watching Mal play, if you watch Jason Shaw play in real life, he plays faster than Mal's playing right now, and in his slowed down mode.
Well, he's got the breakout on the 8-ball.
Yeah, it's gonna be 2-2 here pretty quick. Oh, boy, that was...
Again,
I'm not sure where he's trying to get. The tough part about this is getting on the 8 ball.
Again, it's just evidence of the pace of the table catching him out slightly, and now he's in trouble.
I think he's okay.
Can he get it?
I think he can.
Yeah, he can. So, all square again.
But I got to wonder if Mal's doing himself a disservice by just trying to run out every time, because when he gets to the better players, that style of play is not going to win him matches unless he just has a tremendous day.
Well, the problem for Mal here is he doesn't have a choice because he can't pot a yellow. And he's got one problem red, top right side, and the other one's the one on the left rail. And both pockets are guarded, so again he's going to have to look at it. Oh, I thought he was going to scratch there off his own red. He's going to have to look at a way of trying moving the two reds, or certainly, well, the one on the right side, he can get on it down into the bottom corner. But he's going to have a bit of work to do to get this one done.
Well, I'm going to have to disagree with Cobra's statement about the shot clock, because I think if you look at most pros play and you count how many seconds they have left on the shot clock when they shoot, you're going to find that there's quite a bit of time left most of the time. I mean, everybody's got to think about something. Some players are more deliberate than others, but I wouldn't call them slow.
Well, brain fill out would do well to probably get rid of Mal's red up in that top right hand corner. He's got a good chance of doing it. Well, he's ran through. He could have killed that and pushed that yellow onto it to follow it in, and still leave that other red in the left hand rail there.
Well, I don't know what you guys are watching. You watch the best players in the world right now. I mean, some of them are faster than others, but like, for example, Josh Filler plays fast. Jason Shaw plays fast. Dennis Okoye plays a little slower than them, but still pretty fast. Shane Van Boeing, maybe moderately speed. He's not slow. I mean, Carlo Beato, he's getting to the point where, you might call him on the slow side.
This is going to go wrong here for Brain Fillet if he doesn't get down and take that red out, because the other thing is I don't think that if he took the yellow on the right rail onto that red over the corner, I don't think that yellow would follow it in. He's going to have to deal with that right now if he's going to have a chance of winning this rack.
I did not watch the last World Championship. I mean, I'm aware of players that are slower. I mean, guys like Kachi, he's pretty slow. I mean, there's definitely guys out there that are slower.
I think he's just lost this rack, not doing what I said he should have done early on in the rack. I think he's lost it. Unless he's going to try and bump this yellow off the 8 ball. I don't know whether he's even looked at that. I would have done that, but at the end of the day, he's still not going to have a yellow to pot once he pots this one. So,
well, he definitely could get out here. Well, he missed the yellow. He needed to make that ball and hit the other yellow.
Well, what he needed to do was what I said earlier on. He should have played his yellow onto that red to open that pocket for that yellow, and he never done it. He would have been out had he done that. Commentator's eye.
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of players that are slow, but I wouldn't call that, most pros. I mean, I can name that many that play moderate or fast.
Well, Mal's going to go the two reds in either corner and then just bump across for that one down the rail. So bit of a sellout there, in my opinion, for Brain Fill Out. Had he done that the right way, they'd probably won the rack. Oh, wait a minute. Mal's touch is, I think, is that going into the side? Oh, good luck with this. He's got a cigarette paper's width to get this in the hole, and he's played it well. Yeah, that's one that got away.
I wouldn't consider those guys the top 8 in the world. I mean, they may be based on match rooms, point rankings, but I sure wouldn't say those guys are the top. I mean, Beato and Gorst, I would put in the top. Probably not the rest of them. I mean, maybe Alex.
Who is Scottish? I presume you guys agree with me with that last rack there. I don't see anybody arguing the case for how Brain Fill Out went about trying to win that rack, but I think he got it wrong straight away in the top right-hand corner.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to deal with your problems earlier, have some sort of plan.
Well,
otherwise it's going to go south, because Mal will punish you.
Yeah.
He's going to run out.
See, this is where players don't see ahead. They don't look ahead. I mean, I'm looking at that table. I'm thinking, right, well, I've got that yellow that's above the side pocket on the right side, and I need to open that top right-hand corner pocket to get it.
See, that was a right play there, playing that combo.
Yeah.
Because he was sitting good on it and get that thing out of the way. Now, I'll be interested to see how he plays to get position on the 8-ball, because that's a little tricky. I would consider shooting this ball in the pocket right now. Let's see what he does there.
I don't remember one. I don't remember us having one. Not even in VP3, I don't remember.
Well, that was well played. I mean, Mal's looking pretty sharp.
Well, you've got a line of yellows in this middle of the table. And again, I don't think he's got a choice, though. I think he's really got to go for the reds anyway, regardless. I don't think he wants to be trying to cut that one into the side, that yellow, so it's going to be the little combo.
Is this the first black ball? I think this is the first one in VP4. I'm not sure if we ever had it in VP3.
No, I don't ever remember anything like that in VP3. Nope. Good evening to Chico. Well, it was going good at the start for Brain Fill Out. He won the first 2 racks from 2 errors from Mal, and he did well to win those first 2 racks.
Well, he's got a good opportunity now. I'm not quite sure I like that shot, but he's got a good opportunity now. There's no problems. Those 3 reds that are together, those are the ones that can cause problems, because it's real easy to get funny on those.
Yeah. Well, that'll do. I think he's on it.
Yeah, and that's a really good spot to be, because he can just stun it over a little and shoot the ball in front and then go behind. But these kind of little... See, that's what I'm talking about. It's real easy to screw up when you have balls close together like that. It looks real easy, but if you make a little mistake, then all of a sudden you're in deep trouble.
Well, he's got plenty of room to run around the table here, but the chances are he's going to run into a yellow.
Well, if he runs into the right yellow, he's okay. That's not enough speed.
Yeah.
See, I was thinking he wanted to run the next yellow down, and you can't hit it that easy because when you bump it, you don't want to be stuck to it.
See, I would have been trying to hit that. I would have been trying to hit that, pot that ball and come out and maybe check the cue ball to actually get it to run down and around and somewhere in amongst them to try and get on one rather than trying to find a spot within that line of the yellows. I think you're asking for trouble playing it that way anyway.
Well, he's got a chance to get safer, but it's not very high. I mean,
Well,
I would be playing 2 rails to that ball that's closest to the corner pocket, and then trying to lock the cue ball on the other ball.
This line that he's got here, I don't necessarily. I think the 8 ball's in the way slightly.
Well, the problem with this line is he's not going to get locked on a ball, and if you can't get locked on a ball, you're no good. That's why I like the 2 railer, because he had an angle where he could bump the one red and lock on the other one. And yeah, it's a low percentage shot, but I mean, the shot's there. You got a chance at least. The way he played it, I'm not sure what he was trying to do, but I don't see him getting a lockup that way.
Well, this is a little pot in practice. 3 yellows for a 5-2 lead. Well, Cobra's call still stands. He predicted 13-4 to Mal, I think.
Well, I mean, there's no doubt Mal's a big favorite in this, and but Brain fell out. He may win more than 4. I mean, he's doing okay. Of course, he may also not get to 4.
Yeah, I think Mal's found his way to shot now after a couple of racks.
Well, the thing is Mal can really run out. So, seeing how he's playing, I would say it's pretty even between Mal and Semi as far as running out.
Cobra's sitting there watching this, thinking this is great because his name's not got a mention.
Yeah, but Cobra's also sitting there watching this, thinking, "Man, I'm going to have to play good to win."
I think Cobra will find his touch.
The big question with Mal is going to be, can he play a strategy game when he needs to? Because there's more to this game besides running out.
Oh, there's going to be plenty of those racks ahead. Yep, most certainly.
Well, this is an interesting situation here. I mean, I would be thinking that you'd. Well, I think that's a good play, picking the reds.
Well, this little
but he's got a lot of trouble here because
that little combo keeps out of the red there, so it's still got control of the pocket.
That was a good play. I would think he'd want to shoot this red right in front of him down table now, roll forward and take the ball that is extended from the side in the side pocket. Mm-hmm. Get those 2 out of the way.
Yeah, you've got to get them online.
Yeah, you can catch a little side rail. That was just too much. I mean, he hit 6 inches above the pocket, and they're not going to let you do that.
Now, Mal, I don't. Well, obviously, Mal's trying to try and pot this red out the way and pot the yellow. I can't see that going in.
Well, the problem with that, I don't think that's a good play here, because if you can't get that and get safe,
that's a better way. That's a
much better play, because he solved this problem and he's still at the table. If you're going to play a ball on another, you best not leave a shot, because I mean, these balls aren't going to be hard to run out for brain fill out.
Yeah, you just go under the radar, Cobra. You just sit and watch them all tear lumps out of one another, and then just come in and feed off the corpses that are lying around you later on in the tournament.
Yeah. Well, I like that play. That's what I was thinking he should do, is move that ball off that rail. He's just making a lot of good decisions right now. He got a little funny here, but he'll be fine. This ball is missable, though. Yeah, not when you hit it that good, it's not. Those little back cuts, people tend to cut them into the rail, and that's a no-no. Well, I don't know about shooting this ball. He's thinking twice about it, too. It'd be better to find a different pocket than that one with the reds in front of it. Yeah. See, that's smart play, and he's perfect. Well, maybe not perfect, but he can stun over and get a reasonable shot on the next one. Oh, he's going to roll forward into it. Oh, shit.
Well, this is as good a chance as Brainfullout's going to get to pinch a rack back here.
Well, I'm not sure what happened there, because that was just a brain fart. I mean, I didn't expect him to miss that.
So now, just drop this in dead weight.
I think Cobra, when he said 13-4, he forgot the brain farts, because that was just a giveaway game there. That's a 2-game swing.
Oh, no, he hasn't got the touch. He hasn't got the touch.
It's a give back.
I mean, that's a nervy shot, that. I mean, he was trying to do everything to stop the cue ball going too far south. You've got to get it to the hole.
Well, the thing is that if you roll and get a little angle back, it's no big deal where the 8-ball is. It's not like it's right on the rail.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was just trying to get too perfect on the next ball. And that's always been one of my bugaboos, is I get in a mode where I try to get too perfect all the time, and then I do something stupid like that.
Oh, it's 6 in a row for Mal. And now Brainfullout's had a decent enough break here. Now, what would be the best for him to go for here?
I like the yellows.
The yellows are good from the point of view that they are generally all available. So if he can squeeze through the gap to get this one in the corner,
yeah, I would shoot the one by the red in the corner. That's what I would shoot right now.
I don't know so much about that shot, because the worry I've got is that yellow over to the side of the 8-ball, because it's a bit sort of exposed and not quite as easy to get to, especially if he's going to roll up the table from this shot.
I think where he's going now, he's going to need to shoot. Well, he could shoot it now, but I think he may shoot it last.
Oh, that will go. I didn't think there was enough room there, but it does. It goes.
Oh, there's a ton of room. I would have shot that ball first.
That will do. Right, now the problem starts. Pot the 2 yellows. How do you get to the 8-ball and avoid the traffic up the table?
He's got enough angle here. I mean, he just needs to roll close to the rail and go forward.
Yeah, but does he know that? That's the question, Steve. He can't leave himself bolt straight, so he must make sure he has an angle of some description. Well, that's fine too. That's an angle.
I mean, it's a little bit more angle than you'd want. I mean, he could play the rub off the red if he wants here to slow it down. He could go 2 rails also, but that's risky because it's pretty tight getting by the red.
He's trying to get lucky to just run through this gap, I think.
No, I think he's going to bump the red. Well, I think you're right. He tried to go through the gap, and that was tough. Yeah, I would not have played that play just because it was not sitting very good. I would have tried to rub the outside of that red, take some speed off it, come off the long rail, and you got a pretty good shot on the 8.
Yeah, see that yellow that was over here, Steve? I hadn't looked at this pocket to see how much room there was, but you were right enough. He should have got rid of that first. because he had the pocket open.
Yeah, I mean, leaving that ball on the rail, having to come down table, that works better in pool than it does in black ball because these pockets are just tighter. You know, if you've got to hit anything with any speed at all, you know, the pocket's really small there. So even after he didn't take that one ball first, I would have gone to the ball in the corner pocket, the ball on the rail, and then taken that ball that was partial pocket last. You know, he actually picked wrong twice.
Oh, that's a great shot. Now, this is a test. I mean, plenty of room. There's pretty much a full pocket there.
That's like 7/8 of the pocket. I mean, you got to dog it to miss this.
That will do it. So the comeback is on.
Well, I've never heard that one before. Tighter than a nun's sausage wallet.
So dry break. I mean, this is pretty ugly looking, isn't it?
But you know, this is a difference in skill level. It's just, you know, just looking at that one shot where, you know, he tried to go through the gap last game. You know, a player that's a higher skill level would have probably tried to bump that red ball on the outside to slow the ball down because they know it's going to hit that and go off the long rail, and they're going to come up with a good shot, and it's like guaranteed. And that's really the difference between these guys that are good and the best guys on VP is just the, you know, the ability to see and play those shots.
Now that red that Mal has next to the 8 ball, let's have a look at that. Well, that's killed that. He's just made it worse. There was a slim chance that might have gone past that 8 ball, but it doesn't now.
Well, I'm not sure what he was doing there, but that ball by the side pocket gives him a way of getting that out pretty easy. So, he's just firing away here. He's not trying to play table position at all. It's going to be interesting to see if he plays like this when he plays somebody that plays better.
Let's have a look at this bracket. I think it's Albinario, as a matter of fact, Steve. I think it's Albinario that's, well, we're saying Albinario's lying in wait. He hasn't arranged his match yet. But Albinario will be the strong favourite. With the greatest of respect to Simax, who's watching the stream. So it looks as if those two may well be lined up in round 2. So that's a big step up in class.
Yeah, well, Albin plays good pool. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how fast he picks up on black ball since I don't think he's played it much.
I think Albin's adaptability is more than evident. I think he won't be long in getting settled into it.
Well, he certainly improved in straight pool a lot. And, you know, I don't know what he did, whether he practiced, played other guys, listened to the streams, but whatever he did, it was very effective because he improved tremendously just through this last World Championship. And I would expect sort of the same thing here if he can stay alive long enough to get enough matches in under his belt. The amazing thing about Albin is, you know, he didn't play pool in real life, and that's pretty impressive because when we originally did this game, the thought was that people that hadn't played pool would develop quickly because you've got the stroke of God, it always goes straight, and that, you know, people would improve quickly and become good at the finer points of pool, such as cue ball movement and pattern play and strategy. And that ended up not being as true as we thought, because what's happened is people have got to a certain level where, you know, they pocket balls decently, they have a pretty good idea where the cue ball's going, and they can run out a fair amount. But most of these guys that are really good that have savvy and know how to understand how to bump balls and know how to move the cue ball and, you know, are better at the subtle points of the game. Most of those guys are players in real life, and not just players, but pretty good players.
Or did you ever think that that people like me who came to the decision that they couldn't see the end of the snooker table in real life and gave it up would have VP as their get out clause, where if you can't see the balls at the end of the table and that, you have a better chance of seeing them in VP.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, there's been a lot of people. You know, some of them played a lot in real life. Some of them had disabilities. I'm a little bit surprised more real life players aren't playing VP, but I kind of understand that because, you know, if you're still actively playing in real life, you're probably going to more likely want to be in the pool room.
Mm-hmm. Now, that red's still there, Steve, but Brain Pillout's the one that's going to have a problem, and
he's
suddenly got bigger.
Well, here's a free ball opportunity to deal with this 8-ball, and then run out. I mean, I'm sure he's going to move these balls. I'm not sure I would have done it that way because, you know, he's left the 8-ball on the rail. I would have played it so the 8-ball moved away from the rail. He's also managed to put himself in a tough spot, but being a experienced player, he knows just to do this. This is a little better shot than I'd like to give an opponent just because, you know, kicking this ball in is not that difficult.
Well, I'm convinced that the middle pocket's in the way here. To go off the rail to cut that, and my eye tells me that the middle pocket's in the way. I think the palm knuckle of the middle pocket is the line I would want to hit.
It's close, yeah. I mean, and he can't draw it because he doesn't have any room with the rail. He's right on the rail. You might be right about that, Hugh.
I think I would have just faced up to the fact I'm going to give this a slam and hope, because at the end of the day, if you don't hit it, it's another 2 to Mal anyway, or an extra shot anyway, and it's game over. Provided Mal can again improve the position of that red up the top end of the table, which he's about to do.
You know, one thing about a guy like Mal, he probably thinks that 8-ball he's never going to miss. Whereas a lot of us would be looking at that going, well, I don't like that shot. And, you know, that can work in your disadvantage, because I don't care how good you are. You can miss that 8-ball. You get a little funny on it.
I see. The idea is that with those two reds that were extended from the side pocket, as you say, that, you know, one of them is going to be handed just to drop onto the black anyway, so he's fine. Just a little cut, cue ball into the middle of the table, drop the red in and on the 8-ball, no problem. We've got to watch the pace. He's doing what you said there. You see, the sensible thing is not to try and be cute and just go halfway up the table, go right up the table and back down.
Yeah, that's just, you know, Mal's played a lot in real life, and I think if you play a lot in real life, you think about hitting that shot, because even if you feel like you can control the speed, when you hit them slow like that, you know, you get a little piece of dirt on the ball and it throws like crazy, or, you know, your stroke's not as accurate. There's all kinds of ways that it goes wrong. Mm-hmm. And that going up and down the table is just more reliable. In VP, it's not as important, but I still think there's a lot of situations where guys are, you know, trying to baby balls where they're better off putting a little speed on them. Well, Brain Pillout needs to get a win here. He does not want to lose further touch from here.
Well, I think you know, he's playing the yellows. I wouldn't be doing that, simply because he's got to get good on that top yellow on the right hand side of the red. But, you know, where the two yellows are, he has to get good on that one to break the other one out. And he has to pot that one in the hole, and again he's failed, so he's selling out here.
Yeah, those two yellows together, that's an easy situation because one of them's sitting where you can just, that's an easy situation there.
Yeah.
But not getting the ball into the hole there was not good. So Mal's looking at, he's probably looking at caroming this red back towards the corner pocket. Oh boy. Well, that was unexpected.
Well, that's a bonus.
I think his idea on how to carom that red towards the pocket was a good idea, but obviously the cue ball got away from him. Maybe he was trying to make that yellow and get it out of the hole and just
yeah.
Where that was, I think that's probably not a bad idea, making that yellow, but he hit it a little funny and it was so deep in the pocket.
Well, let's see what Brainfallout's pace is like here, because he wants to finish. Well, he's got an angle, obviously, but he wants to get the pace right here. Ideally, he doesn't want to run into a red ball. He wants to either go down off the rail and out, or hold for that one that's further up the table. I don't know what he's thinking, but we'll soon find out.
His pace on that corner pocket shot was enough because it hit two rails and went in. And if you hit that harder like that, it hangs up. It goes back probably a third bumper and hangs up. If you hit it easier than that, it goes to two rails and it hangs in the pocket. So that's another problem with hitting him easy. Well, he's not lucky. He doesn't have the shot, I don't think. I don't think this ball goes without twisting it.
I think you're right. And I said about running into the red, he wanted to make sure he didn't run into the red because this is what can happen.
Well, he's got to play a little twisty here. He doesn't. He can almost hit this with a level cue. I think this is where the rail is. The tricky part about this is getting it to the hole. You can just hit low right on this and get it to bend, but let's see what he already. Yeah, that's no good.
He was trying to get in behind the red.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad idea, but that's a tough shot trying to thin a ball like that because you have to hit it so thin. It wasn't a bad idea. It just didn't work out.
Jumps are not allowed in black ball, so if someone manages to jump with a play cue, will the game auto-detect it and call a foul?
I believe it will.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's not the complete answer. Okay? You can jump all you want, as long as you don't jump over a ball. If you jump over a ball, then it's going to call a foul, I believe.
Oh, it's going to be either 8-ball into the side or down the rail. Now, the only thing now is he's going to have to just drop this red in.
He's got a choice, inside or outside. He went outside. He has a choice of how to get there, and I think he'll probably shoot the black in the side pocket based on where they're sitting. Nope, he's going to go corner. He's just not going to mess with he probably will still go side, but he didn't mess with those other two balls. Nope, he's going corner.
It's a long road back now.
Yeah, it's looking like a steep mountain to climb. Brainfallout's not a bad player, but he's playing a guy that's one of the top guys in the tournament, and that's a tough draw. You wouldn't believe some of the first round matches I've drawn. In tournaments where there are a lot of pros, but not all pros, Parica, Lee Van Corteza, John Morris, Ernesto Dominguez, Stan Taragu, Jason Shaw, Billy Thorpe. I mean, I've drawn, my first round draws suck. And when you get a first round draw like that, it's pretty brutal because you haven't had a chance to get rolling, and it's like you got to play great. And needless to say, I think I lost every one of those matches when I had the first round draw like that.
No,
so Brain fell out's getting a taste of that, of what it's like to play one of the top guys in the first round. It's not good. He needs to get out here. And this is going to be tough because he's got one yellow that's pretty much locked up. It doesn't go anywhere. Oh, did he get far enough? I think he did. This is his chance to get this yellow out of there. He's going to have to stun over and bump this thing and somehow come up with a shot. I mean, he'll have a shitty shot on the other yellow in the side, which he's not going to want. He really needs to come out with a shot on the one he's bumping.
Why is he putting left English on it?
I don't know what that was. Well, I mean, left English, he needed to throw it a little, I think. But I don't think he aimed it right. I mean, he needed to throw the ball. It was a little tight.
Now, I'll pot the other red on the rail and chip the other red. Seems to be obvious, but I think he's got to get, just relying a little bit of luck that he's still going to have a shot though. Nope.
Yeah, this is pretty easy. I mean, this is what you want to do. You want to clean the balls up in one area if you can. Just short little dink, 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 dink.
Yeah, he's quite happy just to get on the right side of it.
Well, he's a little funny here. He rolled a little too far on this one, but he's still fine because he's going to go 2 rails and then shoot the ball up table. Well, he decided 1 rail. Overhit that one.
Now, what is it you're talking about the VIP ladder? The VP3 VIP ladder's still up, by the way. The website's still there.
See, that's the thing about 8-ball is he just screwed up, but he had another ball. And, if you're smart, you're playing position on more than one ball when you shoot shots like that because they can get away from you. And he had a escape ball. It's just like straight pool. Playing position on one ball is not as good as playing on position on multiple ones.
Well, initially I feared for brain pull out. Then I got excited when he took out those first 2 racks, and then the match is completely turned on its head.
Well, I mean, there's no time like now to run out. I mean, he's got a wide open table. It's sitting beautifully. Cobra's prediction is still alive here.
Yeah, and I mean, I would fancy my chances in this table. Slim, but I'd still fancy my chances.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't get out on this table, it's over for sure. And this is probably the easiest table he's had off the break. Let's see what he decides to do here.
Yeah, I was thinking that myself. I would much rather come down and try and
really underhit that. When you go on that inside English, you've got to hit the ball a lot harder because it's going to kill on that rail. And
it's just going to
better to overcook those shots than underhit them.
He's awkward.
Yeah, I think he's got to shoot the one in the middle of the table. I mean, if he shoots this one he's looking at now, I think it's trouble.
Yeah,
he's got to shoot this one in the middle of the table because that's a natural position to get on either ball. If he shoots this one, there's a good chance he's going to be looking at a combo.
Yeah, and the other thing is that if he runs straight into one of those reds like that, he's going to end up like that.
Well, that was just a bad decision. He needed to play the ball in the middle of the table. That was his shot.
But then again, he's got. In fact, I don't think has he got an angle to get to these. Well, he can certainly get to the left of that red, above the side pocket, and I'd just give it a slap and hope. I wouldn't try and be delicate. I mean, you can be as subtle as you want. You're not going to be that lucky that you're going to not leave Mal a shot. So I'd just give it a good full-on bang and hope.
Yeah, that might not be a bad strategy at this point, because really all you're doing when you run this many balls and leave the table open is you're just giving Mal practice, because I did a funny there.
Yeah, malpractice. There's definitely malpractice going on here.
Came out of my mouth before I realized what I was saying. But yeah, I mean, this is just practice for him at this point. It's just too easy.
Well, in races to 13, the cream is always going to come to the top at the end of the day. Guys like Brain Pullout are going to have their chances. The problem is the ability to put things in place and take those chances. It's the biggest failing all the time with most of these other players. They can't find a way to get the job done. Wrong choices, a shot, not getting a ball to a hole, silly things like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't describe it as a fail as much as just, that's their play level. They don't understand the pattern play, and, they don't understand some of the execution, and that's the level they play. And, it's just tough when you draw a player like this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's another thing if you've got the play level, but you just start making bad decisions or don't play well. That's different. Watching Brain fill out, I just think, he's playing his speed, and, he's a decent player, and, I mean, I'm sure his rating in other games is probably higher, but, he's playing Mal, who is one of the best players on VP.
Well, I think the other thing is that when Brain Pullout's shooting, he knows that, he's got that pressure all the time, knowing that should he not be able to get something done, then, the odds are highly stacked that Mal's going to get it done. As the pattern is going at the moment.
Well, let's hope this isn't fool's gold for Mal, where he decides he's going to play like this all the time. Because I think when he plays the better players, he's going to have to not just try to run out. I mean, I did see him play some other shots this match, but not too many of them. I mean, most of the time he's just going for it, which is fine if you get there.
Oh, was Betamax not technically the better system at the time?
It was technically the better system.
Yeah. And then JVC jumped in the bandwagon with VHS.
But it was Sony, which, Sony has historically had it's got to be proprietary to us, a view of the world. And, because of that they lost out. If they would be willing to share the technology and come up with a standard, but they weren't willing to do that. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. I guess he was trying to get that yellow out of there and free the black. That must have been what he was trying for.
Well, again, here's a situation where Brain Pullout's got all his balls available, but he has that initial problem with the yellow where he can get dead straight on it. I don't know whether he could do that right now, from where he was at distance, but...
Well, even if he can't, you look for a ball to get on that you can get into those things, The one extended from the side pocket's a possibility. He gets any kind of reasonable angle on after this shot, which, he has failed to come up with. He's short on it. He needed to roll a little further.
He might be trying this now, I think. He's going to try and run running back out, but again, he's short. So now I don't know whether he played for that or played for this one.
Well, what he could do is wait for that one to the very end and just hit it and stop it and leave Mal hooked with his ball in the pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a choice too. Mal would be kicking at his red, and I think that's a pretty reasonable choice. Now, I'll tell you the danger of doing that. If he does do that, the problem is you soft kick and hit your cue ball behind that red, and then Mal probably wins the game. He's trying to kick to make his ball. So you always got to be aware of that. Is that when you put the guy in a situation where he's kicking at the ball, what is he going to do? Well, most of these guys think, oh, he's just going to slam it. But if you soft kick behind that ball, it's 2 or 3 rails soft kick behind it, but you could actually get it locked up on it. See, he's not going to do that, and that's a mistake. I think in the situation he should have left that yellow that was blocked last, rolled up, and hooked Mal, and taken a chance on Mal being able to soft kick that and hook him.
Yeah,
because there's no guarantee Mal's going to get that.
Yeah, and he's brought the 8-ball into play. So
he's just helping Mal here. So he's going to do the same thing here. Now, in a way, this is a little better because he's got a ball up table. So, why did he do that? Why didn't he make the ball? Maybe I think he was trying to make the ball and make sure he stayed behind the 8, and that was just really poorly executed. I mean, I think he had the right idea. See, that actually wasn't a bad play if he got that in, because Mal can't soft kick his red with the other ball up there.
Mal doesn't like his red where it is. I don't know, maybe he's just still thinking about things, and maybe that's what it is, yeah.
Well, the problem is getting on it, and I think he made a good choice. That's a guaranteed shot, and he can roll this. I think this game is over. Based on what he's done in the past, this will be corner. Yeah, that was Brain Fell Out had a number of different ways he could have won that game, and he just didn't get there on any of them.
I think that's twice the 8-ball's going in a break tonight.
I think that's the third time.
The third time, yeah.
All right, well, I mean, here we go again. He needs to get to 4 to make Cobra's prediction true. Here's his chance. I would think he's going to take the yellows, but we'll see. I mean, the reds are doable. He's got a pretty small spot to get to there.
Now, I mean, why doesn't he take that red there? And well, I suppose you have to just try and bump that red next to the yellow there. I think he had an angle to go to the rail and just try and hit it, and then he had to get lucky to get on another red. But sometimes you just have to take that risk.
Well, the problem here is he's just making balls. He needs a plan of how he's going to get to that one red. And I'm not sure what his plan was, but that just derailed it, whatever it was.
The semi's still there, because he said he was in the commentary box, but he jumped down when the girlfriend came home.
I see that. Mal took care of his problem ball right off the bat. He had an opportunity, and he took care of it.
Exactly. Now, that initial first visit there for Brain Fell Out, when he potted that red into the corner, the angle was there to go to the rail and just run into those 2 balls and open up his red. Okay, it's a risky shot because you're just relying on getting lucky to still be on one of your reds, but to me, you had to be committed to get rid of it. He started potting balls and then he ended up missing on the side. So another gift for Mal, and he's on the hill. We've just gone past, an hour and 4 minutes, so this is probably about the fastest match of the tournament. Oh, scratch.
Yeah, well, it's refreshing seeing somebody play at this pace. Did you watch any of that rotation match yet?
No, because it's not my day off, Steve. It is tomorrow, but see, now that you've mentioned it, I'm looking to see if I've got a pen. I don't think I've got a pen. What's the guy's name again?
It's Anton Raga. R-A-G-A. And he's got a channel. I think the channel is called Anton Raga.
Somebody remind me at the end of the stream, so I'll go on YouTube and find the channel first of all. I want to watch that.
I started watching a 10 ball, and it's like Dennis plays really fast in this kind of situation. I think that's another thing, is that there's a difference in tournament play and gambling. When guys are gambling, you'll see the speed go up quite a bit because they're trying to get in rhythm. In tournaments, especially shorter races, that crazy predator thing they play where it's 2 races to 4 and then a shoot off with the spot shot.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I mean, it's like those guys are grinding so hard because the race is so short. You can't afford to try to open up and play because it's just, one mistake and you lose you lose one of those races.
Yeah, I know that, Mark, but I don't want to get into Notepad right now. I want to try and keep that name in my head. So Mal on the Reds, and he has a problem. Again, he's dealt with the problem immediately. I didn't get the word out, and he'd already dealt with the problem.
Yeah, and that's if you can, you do that. If you can't, then you find yourself an angle on a ball that you can get into it. You say, okay, if I had the cue ball in this position on this ball, it would be real easy. It's a natural for the ball's going to want to run over and hit this ball that I need to move.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of the problem that players have is thinking that way. But I think the other problem that a lot of players playing have is that they don't really understand where the ball wants to go. So if you don't understand the paths the ball wants to roll on, it's hard to plan like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Mal has a very good idea where the cue ball's going.
Well, I know he knows where this 8 ball's going.
Yeah.
Well, Cobra got it wrong. Well, he only got it wrong by 1 rack. We'll give him that. So Mal wins by 13 racks to 3, and he's now through to round 2, and waiting on the winner of the match between Simanx and Albinario. Is Simanx still there? Is there any correspondence going between the two of them yet? When's the deadline? April the 10th, and this is the 4th? Well, still plenty of time. So Mal is through. Spud Boy, I noticed, has gone through. It looks like Bankster didn't show up. I presume that was last night when I went to bed. Snake Eyes, we'll go to the event page because that's better for looking at the matches. So the match tomorrow is Snake Eyes and Hazard. That's at 5 p.m. And then DJ Simon and Tommy. I think that'll be worth watching. Should be interesting. That'll be 7:30 on the Wednesday night. And then, of course, how many first round matches are still left? Quick look at that. Albinario's 1. MC Clarkey and Dirties is 2. Larry and John Boo, they've still to arrange it. That's 3. The match with Tommy and Simon, that's 4. And I think that's it. So there's 4 first round matches left, and they've got 6 days to get that done. So, there's LS3 arrived. Possibly playing Quagmire on the 1 loss side tomorrow, right? Oh, there's Mal. Well done, Mal.
Good job, Mal.
So, it's a big step up for you, Mal, if you bump into Albinario in round 2. You'll certainly be put to the test in that one, and it should be a pretty damn good match, provided Albinario shows up, and provided, as the bookies would say, he's odds-on favourite, provided he wins. But it's a 2-horse race, and anything can happen. Right, I think we're going to call it quits again, because I don't think there's anything else on. There's somebody still asleep in that room. It's probably Steve.
Is it me?
Yeah, it usually is. Yeah. Oh no, you're out. No, you're okay. I'll let
It's
you off
not
this
me.
time. Yeah, I'll let you off. There's still somebody in there. But anyway, I'll be back tomorrow, and and of course, if there's a one loss side match, we'll look into that as well. If it gets scheduled, we'll have a look at that. So it only remains to be said, thank you all for watching again. In fact, I'll tell you something that's annoying me. I lost 2 subscribers last night. Who were they? I had 524, and then I looked at the thing this morning, and there was 522. So who's subscribing and then unsubscribing every time? Give me your names. Anyway. Right, what's that? Oh, the link, right. Thanks, Mark. Mark sent me the link on Facebook for that channel, so at least I don't have to remember anymore. I can get it. We'll go and have a quick look at that. Get a cup of coffee. So good luck to all the guys still in the tournament. Good luck to Mal. Well done to Mal. Unlucky to Brain fell out. Big step up in class against Mal. And thanks, Steve, for joining us again. You're more than welcome to drop in at any time. And we will see you again soon, guys. So take care.
Good night, guys.
And we will see you again. Good night and take care.
You're way off. I say you're way off this time, son.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else. No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys.